We're talking to Deborah Stewart from Glenfarclas distillery. Deborah, what's your position there?
So I get the really fun job title of International Sales Executive. Because it's such a small company, I actually got to choose that myself, which was quite nice. And basically that means that I look after a mixture of the markets. So there are three of us who look after the world between us. George Grant, who everyone in Germany seems to know, my colleague Ian McWilliam, and myself. So my markets are mostly in Western Europe. So France, Germany, Spain, Italy, Austria, Switzerland, Belgium, these markets, and South America as well.
You came to Berlin with a fantastic lineup for your tasting.
Yes.
How do you manage to get that good stuff into the tastings?
For the tastings, we're very lucky because we do still have a fair number of older casks. So I just had a look at what casks we had available, and I tried to find a pattern somewhere that I could play with for the tasting. And I chose the 9s because I could do every year from 59, 69, 79, 89, 99, 2009. And then when I asked for the samples, the person who actually takes the samples from the cask said, "Ooh, why did you say 1959? Like, because we can?" And he said, "Yeah, but we've only got one cask left. It's the very last cask of 1959. So, like, please, can I have a little bit?" Yes, okay, you can have a little bit.
Right. So, in total, you have a very broad standard range with a lot of aged whiskies. How do you manage to keep that stock in that broad direction?
It's not easy. It is something that we fight with, but it's also something we believe in. So, I mean, I can't say there's not a single no-age statement Glenfarclas on the market, but there are very few, and that's intentional. So, the big one that people mention is 105 because it used to have an age statement and now it doesn't. People say, "Oh, but why doesn't it have a 10-year-old anymore?" And the answer is, thank you, climate change. It got to the point where 10-year-old casks were no longer all still 60% alcohol because the winters in Ballinzalek are not as cold as they used to be. So they had to remove that age statement and take in some 9- and 8-year-old whiskey to be sure that it was going to have the strength. But otherwise, for the 10, 12, 15, 21, up to 25, we're just quite strict. It's a very hard job, and I'm glad it's not my job, deciding how much we can bottle each year. But at the moment, the only product we really have problems with is 40-year-old. We cannot supply 40-year-old as much as we used to, so we've had to really cut down on 40-year-old, but otherwise, there are no restrictions within reason.
But you have to plan in advance for quite a long time.
We do plan that in advance, and so every year we do these wonderful exclusive bottlings for Germany, like the new one is the 1990, 2006. But every year again it's a conversation. Do we have enough from that year that we're not going to leave ourselves short for the 15-year-old or for the 21-year-old? So quite a lot of the times we don't get what we want. We try our hardest and we always manage to find something to do with some special bottlings, but it's not unlimited because the priority is the core range and guaranteeing that we'll be able to keep the core range. It's like everything. If we sell too much 12-year-old this year, then in 3 years there's no 15-year-olds. So we do have to be a little bit stricter. But we choose not to go into too wide distribution. So you won't find Glenfarclas in supermarkets, because if you do, that's what eats all your volume at the younger age, and then we don't have the nice range later on.
Deborah, thank you for the very nice insights.
My pleasure.
And have a good time here in Berlin.
Thank you.
Thank you.